Imagine fighting beside the Prophet ﷺ, bleeding for Islam, risking your life for the Muslim army, but still being told you are from the people of hell. Not after years, not after the battle, but before anything even starts. This story is narrated in Sahih Bukhari 4203. Before the Battle of Khaybar, the Prophet ﷺ says about a man, "This man is from the dwellers of the Hellfire." And at that moment, nobody understood it, because what they saw was completely different. The battle begins. And that man starts fighting fearlessly. No hesitation, no fear, no stepping back. Whenever the fighting became intense, he pushed forward. Whenever the Muslims advanced, he advanced with them. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't weak. He was fearless. And therefore, this made no sense to the companions. Because how can somebody like this be destined for hell? But the Prophet ﷺ had already spoken. And when the Prophet ﷺ says something, there's no doubt in it, even if the mind cannot understand it yet. So one of the companions decided something. He needed to see, he needed to understand. So he followed this man during the entire battle. Not for a moment, but continuously watching, observing, trying to find something that explains this warning. But the more he watched, the more confusing it became, because nothing changed. The man still fought with courage, still stood firm, still advanced when others moved forward. And now the question became even heavier. If this man is wrong, where is the mistake? Because everything visible to the eye is looking right. And this is where this story becomes frightening. Because sometimes what people see on the outside feels completely right, but yet Allah sees something deeper. The battle continued and the situation became more intense. The pressure increased and eventually the man was severely wounded. Now pause here. This is the moment where everything shifts. Because outward strength does not always mean inner strength. He had stood strong in battle, but still he was feeling pain, real pain. And in that moment, something inside him changed. Instead of turning to patience, instead of holding on, he could not bear it, and he took his own life. This is the part of the narration that shakes the companions, because now everything they thought they understood collapsed in an instant. The same man they saw as brave, the same man they admired, the same man they thought would be among the righteous, had ended his own life. And suddenly, the words of the Prophet ﷺ became clear. Not because the companions understood earlier, but because reality finally unfolded. The companion who had been watching him returned to the Prophet ﷺ, and now there was silence in the understanding, because answer was no longer hidden, it was revealed. And this is where the real lesson begins, because the companions did not fail because they were careless. They failed because they judged what was visible. They saw courage, they saw effort, they saw sacrifice. And that should shake something inside every believer. Because the danger is not just about judging others, it is about how easily the heart can be misunderstood, even by the people who are sincere, even by the people who are close to truth. But the second layer of the story is even heavier. Because the question is not, why did they misunderstand him? The real question is, how easily do we get convinced by the appearances? A strong image, a visible act, a public display, and suddenly the heart assumes certainty. But certainty about people is something only Allah possesses. And this is where the fear enters. Because if even the companions who lived with revelation, who stood beside the Prophet ﷺ, could be surprised by what a man truly was, then what does that say about us, about our understanding, about our certainty regarding ourselves, and about the people we think we understand? Because the truth is simple. The heart can change in an instant. And the ending of a person can overturn everything people assumed about their beginning. So this narration is not here to make you judge others. It is here to make you question yourself. Not your appearance, but your sincerity. Not how people see you, but what Allah sees when you are alone. Because the man in this story did not fail in the beginning, he fell at the end. And that is the most terrifying part. Because no one is judged by how they are seen in moments of strength. They are judged by what remains when tests become heavy, when patience becomes difficult, when no one is watching. So do not feel safe because people admire you, and do not feel lost because people overlook you. Because people only see fragments, but Allah sees the whole story, from beginning to ending, to what is hidden inside the heart. And the only true success is not being seen as righteous, but meeting Allah while being sincere. May Allah guide us all and protect our hearts from turning astray. I'll see you in the next video, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khair for watching. Subscribe.